I don't know. I got to square it up on Saturday. The Stars come into town on Sunday, so we're going to take Nico out. We're going to air it all out. But I love Mikko. Mikko's like a Finnish little brother to me, and it just obviously wish we still had him, but I understand there's a business, and I understand he, it's a great chance for him to get paid. I get it. But, he's got a lot of dough. He's got a lot of dough. Can't argue that.
He better be paying for dinner.
Who's picking up the tab? McFarland and Sakic or Rantanen?
Mikko will be paying for it. Yeah.
That's actually a funny question. Gabe Landeskog on Spittin' Chicklets.
It sounded like McKinnon.
With Ryan Whitney. It's Paul Bissonnette and Ryan Whitney. Spittin' Chicklets.
I think Gabe didn't have his teeth in.
Yeah, I thought he sounded like McKinnon.
Because we've heard him sounded weird here a couple times here recently. I think maybe he doesn't put his teeth in.
Well, put your teeth in if you're going out for a steak dinner, I suppose. Wherever. Do you think that's really happening, by the way? Do you think they really are going out to dinner to clear the air?
Nah, I bet they do dinner, though. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be controversial. I don't think there's going to be like, hey, I hate you. Why'd you do that?
I'll bet for sure it's Gabe's.
The question that we got there on Twitter, should Avs fans boo Mikko Rantanen? Well, would you boo Mikko Rantanen? I mean, that's what it kind of boils down to. What would you do?
I don't boo.
I would not. It's easy to call him a villain, and I wouldn't argue it. I wouldn't. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fine. But man, you got a lot of love there. Come on. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to replace the amount of love you had for that dude.
All right.
Well, I love the three comments after, right, from the poll, right? Just really long moose chance, right? I mean, they go right there. They can disguise it.
It could get a little confusing.
And the second guy, Derek, writes, as possibly got better overall, his loss, our gain. I mean, don't you got to look at it like that?
You know, I never even thought about that. You're right. The moose chance over the years sound a lot like booze. That's actually a great point. It might be a little hard to discern. Oh, my God. I never even thought of that. So
some people call him the moose.
Well, I mean, you know who gets cheers like that, too, is Val Nichushkin because of the choo-choo train. So it's like choo-choo like that. It kind of sounds like booze.
I was in a game when I was playing the Miami Heat. We were bad, won 15 games. And I had a horrible first half. I remember taking a 3 late, boom, 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 got booed. Came back second half. I played great. In fact, hit a corner 3 that ended up putting us in the lead, and we ended up winning the game. Porter came in, hey, great game, man. Did it bother you when the fans booed you? I said, they did? He goes, yeah, didn't you? I said, I just thought they thought my name was Bruce.
So did you really say that?
Yeah.
Did you really say that, or did you think of that later?
No, I said that.
You really said that?
I said that. I said, I just thought they thought my name was Bruce.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, some moose you can do right there. And then the last guy, homie, helped bring a cup. I mean, there's always that, right?
I guess I'm pretty jaded from the player perspective of the business. You know, it's just we're freaking mercenaries, man. We bounce around, whether it's them cutting us, whether it's them trading us, or whether it's us trying to get the most money we possibly can get. And when you've been on the inside of that business, it is hard to have hate for dudes that just tried to better themselves.
All right, let me help you here with why to boom Mikko Rantanen. You did win a cup with them. Should be some sense of loyalty to that core group. Not for him. He wanted to get the most money he could. Why could you boo him? Because he forced his way out of here. He left the Avalanche with no choice because he wouldn't consider a very, very fair and generous contract offer from Chris McFarland. Why to boo him? Because he's just not that great of a guy. He goes to Carolina. What loyalty did he show to them? He had 4 teams, which he was willing to get traded to, and the trade he accepted was to your arch rival when he could have gone to Toronto or Florida or somewhere else. This guy arguably chose to get out of here for the same amount of money in order to beat you. Well, how's that? How am I doing on that?
The Dallas move becomes the issue of where, okay, maybe. The Carolina move, wait and see the end of the year. Let's just wait. I mean, what if he plays great, wins the MVP of the playoffs, and they win another cup?
We ain't playing the Canes on Sunday, Scott.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, if he just said, no to the trade, they didn't trade him, he stays with the team, they win a cup, and da-da-da-da.
With the Canes?
No, with the Avalanche before they traded him to Colorado.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
Well, that's thank you, Warden. But say he stayed here.
Yeah.
Never got traded. They win a cup.
Yeah.
Then they just lose him for absolutely nothing at the end of the year. Are we okay with that?
Right. And I totally agree with what you're saying right there. There's two very specific things I would push back on what DMac said right there. Number one, you said he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. How many people you know in your life that make really tough business decisions? I mean, brutal, cutthroat business decisions with people that they know, people they've worked with family, with whatever, because it was the right thing for their business. It was the right thing to grow. It was the right thing for that. Are they bad dudes? No, they're doing the right thing for their business. The other thing you said, he chose to go for the same amount of money. Hell no, he didn't. He settled for the same amount of money. He left thinking he was going to get more money. He left thinking that there's going to be more dollar signs out there, and it turned out he was wrong, right? So that is a big difference of saying I chose to leave for the same amount of money versus I took a risk, I left, I wanted more money, it wasn't there.
Why didn't he stay with Carolina?
I don't know.
One, because they did offer him more money.
They sure did.
He didn't want to stay there. I think, I'm not going to make excuse for him, but I think the shock of being traded there in the first place, Carolina was pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
And then let's be honest, it probably became a better decision after he plays 10 games and has 3 points. And all of a sudden he's going, ooh, I don't have the support and love around me that I had other places.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you end up at Dallas?
Because it's a hell of a situation.
Stick it to the Avs.
There you go.
Maybe.
Because he had,
or it was the best situation left after he lost the Avs.
He had three. Toronto's in first place, bro, and that's
Florida made some moves.
Florida is a championship team. There were good teams that he could have also gone to.
And we know he had offers there?
Yes.
We do.
Well, that he said he was okay being traded to.
Well, that's different.
Fair.
I mean, Cooper Kupp said he wants to play for the Broncos. What's the difference?
It was the three other teams besides Dallas were Edmonton, Toronto, and Florida. That he apparently was cool going to.
All pretty cool situations.
Very good situations.
Right.
As is Dallas.
Right. So why is he in Dallas? It's a good situation.
I'm not a booer either, but if you
Do you think he's a bad dude?
I think he treated the Canes poorly, yeah. I think he was kind of a bad dude to the Canes.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe.
And I think he and his agent really weren't very open and honest, and they forced the Avs' hand. And I think it created a bit of a toxic culture because they were forcing the Avs' hand. And I told you guys how it felt in the locker room. So we knew, I told you what was going on before it happened.
And it might have been listen, when someone's going through an issue like that, I remember when I was in Detroit, we were going through an issue like that with Vinny. And Vinny was in his free agent year, and they hadn't offered him, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And he was freaking out, and he's starting to do things on Vinny, like, holding the ball too long, trying to look just for himself, and losing the team aspect. And we had a players-only meeting. And Vinny finally spit it out. I said, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be here in the contract. It's really bothering me, and and Isaiah Thomas, and this shows you the power of great leaders, he goes, stay here. And we're in the locker room. It's just us players. Goes on some phone up there to the GM's office, comes and says, hey, I need you down here right now. GM walks down, who's like an old Korean Marine, so he's a tough SOB. He comes down there and said, tell Vinny if we win, everybody gets taken care of. He said, Vinny, we win this thing again, which we did, everybody gets paid. Mm-hmm. We won it, and guess what? He was a man true to his word. Guess what? Everybody got paid. But it was a pale in the locker room until it was actually addressed. Now, I don't know if they have that kind of leadership, if they have that capability. Said, why isn't Mikko done? Did they have that conversation upstairs? Would that have smoothed the locker room out a little bit had it happened?
Is Matt Duchene hated?
Not anymore. I don't think he's liked, but I think he's.
I don't know, man.
It's 10 years ago.
Dude, I don't know, bro. I don't think he's very well liked by Avs fans.
Dude, I thought they should go get him in free agency this summer.
Well, it was interesting. It'd have been interesting if they brought him back.
Ryan O'Reilly hated?
I don't think so. I think it's different.
He wanted out too, though.
That's true. I think it's different.
Could have used Ryan O'Reilly over the last couple
of years.
Well,
I mean, yeah. I mean, you faced Ryan O'Reilly with the Blues in the Cup run. I mean, it did happen. I don't think Ryan O'Reilly. I don't think he's loved, but I don't think he's hated.
See-
I think Matt Duchene is hated.
Well, did they trade Ryan O'Reilly, Dan? Did they trade Ryan O'Reilly in the season? Was that an in-season or out-of-season trade? Because he was a
Good
guy
question.
who wanted more money than they were willing to do and wasn't going to take a team friendly. And so he kind of worked himself out of it also.
Right.
My favorite Ryan O'Reilly story, kind of
Well, I
along
love,
those lines.
by the way.
It was my favorite guy. So much so, let me tell you. Joe Sakic and his son Chase, my son Connor, same age, played hockey. They played for the Littleton Hawks. We played for the Arapahoe Warriors. It just is what it is. You'd run into Joe Sakic. It was a pretty cool deal. So I knew Joe. Ran into him in a hockey game, kids hockey game. And it was like a week before the trade deadline. And I go to him, Joe, I won't say anything on the radio, but my son wants a Ryan O'Reilly sweater. Should I get one or not? And he goes to me, DMac, go get that sweater. And I got it. And they didn't trade him until the offseason.
Well, you enjoyed it for a minute.
But
it was like, I'm
So
about
you-
to plunk down like $150.
But you went to the offseason with a very, very, very good player who left and you got nothing, right?
Did they get nothing or did they
So
get
O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Or was it a trade in the summer?
Oh, yeah, it was a trade. They got Jamie McGinn, Nikita Zadorov, and Mikhail Grigorenko, and JT Comfer, and a second-round pick.
Wow.
It's not bad.
They got a lot.
But it did.
Was Comfer on the team when they won the cup?
Oh yeah. He's one of the guys.
He's a Boston guy, right?
He was a Detroit guy. I don't know where JT is now, but he went to Detroit as a free agent.
No, but I thought he went to like Boston College or
I'm not sure what college he
UB
went to.
or something like that.
I think he's
or that or Notre Dame. one of
yeah, I
the two.
believe he's American, and his sister, of course, is an
Michigan.
Olympian. Michigan, yeah.
Michigan.
It is kind of interesting just
Detroit.
seeing the
Detroit's in
early
Michigan.
results on the poll there. I mean, a long ways to go here. I would have thought there's going to be more yes. As of right now, there's more no.
Okay.
And the question for anybody that doesn't know, the poll very specifically is should Mikko Rantanen with the Stars coming to town?
My answer is no because I don't have it, but I don't advocate for booing.
I don't
That's me.
advocate for booing either, except when I booed Roger Clemens as a Yankee playing at Coors Field. I literally stood up and booed. I really
Because all the Yankee fans are going, huh?
No, I was so pissed at Roger Clemens for being a traitor, so I did boo him there.
Well, they got bigger mouth openings on the Pepsi cups.
I think what it comes down to for me with hating players that leave, would they have stayed for the right price? And if the answer is yes, then I have a hard time hating the dude. I do.
So Melo,
Because
I'm not sure would have stayed
that's
for the right place.
a radically
That's-
different. Would Nolan? I mean, did Nolan really want to? And I'm a Nolan. I actually defend Nolan. I do. But he wanted the hell out of Dodge, and that's fine, and I get that. But with Mikko, it's a dude that was betting on himself and he was just wrong. That's the way I see it. He bet on himself and he was wrong.
My problem with Nolan Arenado was this. You waited till after you got paid.
Right.
But now you're going to decide to be the turd.
I thought Nolan lacked courage to be a leader. That's what I thought. I thought it was convenient just to say, "Hello, I don't like Brodich," and the whole thing. And then you went to a place that has nothing but statues and world championships outside of their ballpark.
Yeah,
so
but would you have liked Bridich?
I would like to think if I had that talent and I was given that responsibility to be a leader of a team, I would like to think that I would lead that team. And
No matter who's in charge.
Yes. I would like to think that about myself. I don't know. I've never been in that position before. But that's the position Nolan was put into. Are you a leader or a follower? And he just went to gravy train, and thank God that went backwards in his face too. And now he's trying to get out of there.
And he got into a who's his bigger match
But
with
Bridich was wrong too, by the way.
Yeah.
Bridich was an idiot about the whole thing.
I agree. Bridich let it go too.
He absolutely alienated Nolan.
I agree. It was handled poorly, start to finish, top to bottom. And then
sometimes you put back the energy that you're matched with.
Well, and then they got rid of Bridich, which is like, well, what are we doing over here?
That
20th
was
Blake?
bizarre. It felt like you were choosing Bridich, and then you didn't.
Because it was a dumb decision in the first place. And the reason that he was upset was probably legit, but still, you got to get over some of that sometimes. But, I don't really have I like Nolan, too. He's a good dude. Always had good interactions with him. Don't have anything bad to say. I just thought it was a poor moment. That's all.
But it was at a moment. How many moments do we get ourselves in trouble in our lives in anything, whether it's sports and free agency, when we make decisions or say things out of emotion first.
Nolan's wasn't about money either. No one was getting a lot of money no matter
But
what.
it was all
Didn't matter.
emotional.
It was all emotional.
Bridie said something, and then
Yep, it was all personal. It was all emotional.
I helped break that story, by the way.
Did you really?